coach of encouragement. When you're going after something no one's ever done, especially you, listen to the pain, but never steer you wrong. Own it. Work for it. Fight for it. This is weakness. Weak in the body. You had the physical body to do something. You had the mental capacity to believe in it. Now what the fuck do you want?
All right, guys, Q&As, man. What's on your mind, man? I like the hard questions. So whatever you got, we're going to go around and give you a mic and stuff, but, you know, plenty of time. I'll try to go fast with these because I think we got it's like about like 1:30-ish, and then we're going to just do some like meet and greets and stuff at the end there. So anyway, let's rock it, man. What you got?
Alrighty. I'm Josh.
Josh.
I guess a little backstory for you, but at the start of the year I went through like a few life-changing events, like you know, family having cancer and friendships falling apart. The chick I thought I was gonna like, you know, be with forever, you know, I got cheated on. Went through depression. I got to that like real low, you know. I went through like suicidal and stuff like that. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, no, I can't do this anymore. I was like, fuck it, I need to change my mindset. And that's when I like came upon, you know, the Greg Plitt, and I was like, phew, and it just completely blew my mind. And I was just building myself up, and I got to a point where, you know, friends would see that in you, and they see that inspiration in you. You know, I'm like, you got to be bigger than you want to be. And then they're like, oh yeah, they're all charged. And then it got to a point where I had like, you know, a little group with me, and they're, you know, charging me, we're bouncing off each other. And then you'd see the fire dwindle in the friendships that you used to have. You know, you're still like burning, and then you see the ones they slowly drop away, and they slowly drop away, and they're still there for you, but then their friendships start to turn a bit poison in a way, like. You know, they start telling you, oh no, you can't do that, and you can't do that, and then you're like, oh man. So now there's only like 1, 2 friends, you know, one of my friends banned, and my other friend, they're the only ones that are left, but the other ones are still there, and you're like, how do I compete with that, or how do I deal with the friends that were there with me, but now they're just like dragging you down, and I want to do it as humble as I can, because I don't want to diminish their opportunity to shine, but I want to be able to succeed in myself, and our friendships turn toxic. And also the relationship with my family, you know, I got blamed for a lot of stuff like that happened in my family, and I don't know, have you ever had some position in your life where you've dealt with like friendships, or you've dealt with family where you have to
Oh yeah, man. Real fast, so when you say you're getting blamed, what are you getting blamed for? Like what's the...
Oh, well, that's a hectic story.
You don't have to share, but I mean, it's...
No, it's all right.
It's like, you don't have the time or something, or you're not there, or this...
Oh, well, my uncle had cancer, and... Yeah. It was due to alcohol addiction, and I got blamed for that because, you know, I grew up with him and he raised me and stuff like that. But what was really cool is he was told he's going to die in 3 months, which was March. And everyone blamed me for that because I was like trying to get the family to help him out. So then when I went to him and I changed his mindset and I said, nah man, this isn't you, you're better than that, your body is a temple, you know, you're designed to be better than this, which was really cool. As soon as he changed that mindset, cancer was gone. And he's still living now, and he's actually recovering. So he was meant to be dead about 6 months ago.
How cool is that? So basically, yeah, they're blaming you for saving his life, it sounds like.
Yeah.
so maybe the blame's the wrong word, but but I know what you're saying, man. Yeah, and I can relate to it. And put your hand up if you can relate to that too, guys. I mean, look around, bro. You're not alone. Everyone is that same way, man. And I think that's one of the big problems in society is that we go through things in life and we have some trouble or something comes about us and we feel like we're dealing with this all alone, and like everybody deals with it. And I think that's power in one understanding you're not alone. Everyone is going to cross this bridge one way or another. What's cool about it, not everyone does. So everyone feels what you're doing, but most people don't have the tools or the conviction or strength to actually change it, flip it. I've lost tons of friends. So I had a house, 2009, prior to the January of 2009, I was on top of the world, I thought. I was in LA, I bought a house that was, you know, way expensive, and then I was at the height of the market. I had a lot of money in the stock market. I was on 2 different TV shows, bringing in a lot of coin. Within 6 months, I lost all of that. Housing market collapsed. I lost over about 800,000 in the stock market. The 2 shows were canceled, so the bills kept coming in, but I couldn't pay them. I used to have all these parties, and these people would come to the house with nothing in their hand. But somehow when they left, they had something in their hand. I mean, Jesus. It's like, your friends are very fair weather. True friends. My dad said to me, if you can count on your hand and fill a hand up of true friends, you're a lucky person. In fact, you got 3 of them. You're saying blame and you're saying, oh, I got 3 and this and that. Man, you're a very fortunate person in my mind. I think you're very wealthy. If you got your bro right there, man, that's all you really need, But at the end of it all, you got to have yourself first, It's like you got to love yourself in order to love somebody else too. All your friends that are like being like toxic and stuff, is there value in them? If there's no value in them, they're bringing you down. Like when I hit in 2009, I lost my ass, man. A couple $1 million lost, opportunities lost my friends and everything else. I'm at the bottom of the barrel. No place to go but up. And I shit you not, man, your greatest hour of achievement is usually followed by your worst hour of despair. And that's where I was, man. I go, how did I get here? And I had to do some hard thinking. And before I started pointing my finger, because I could do that really easily, when all the people that stole from me and took advantage of me, I had to see 3 fingers pointing back at me. I had to fix myself. I had to find out what was going on. No money coming in. I'm going to lose my house. I got 3 pit bull rescues. They're going to have to find a new home, man. My parents were relying on me. I mean, there's a lot of pressure. I started going to photographers' houses and doing construction work, to make ends meet. Because, I wanted to keep the house. I wanted to keep everything going. I wasn't just going to go into foreclosure or something like that. I remember this one girl coming over to the photographer's house to shoot a cover. I shot probably 4 or 5 covers with this girl. And I'm sitting there covered in shit, man. And she's like, Greg, I can't wait. I was hoping it was going to be you I'm shooting a cover with. Okay, you ain't shooting a cover with me. And she's like, well, what are you doing here? I'm trying to keep my house, She didn't get that. I didn't need her to get it, That was something I had to go through. I had to eat the humble pie. I had to make ends meet. Through all that shit, the bullshit surfaced it real fast. The truth, someone that was there for me. The problem was no one was left. Everyone ran out. That's LA for you. La La Land. A bunch of fakes, wannabes, pretenses. That's the situation I was in. That's cool. It's not who I am, just where I was. I still believed where I was going. So now let me apply what I've learned in these days and everything else and all the struggle and all the stuff I've learned, all that stuff. It's alive in me. I'm not defined by the titles. Success doesn't define me. I define that. I've been lower. I'm going to be lower again. I'm not defined by my accomplishments. If I'm defined by my accomplishments, then they own me. I have to define them. So I lost everything. That's cool. We'll rebuild it. And I rebuilt it. And I built it stronger than ever. And so many assets came from that rebuild. I mean, my website was one of them. I learned so much about myself. And people come to me like, hey, man, thanks a lot for the website, man. It really helped me change my life. You guys don't get it. It saved my life. I can't do the website without you. What's my driving force? Yeah, I give out. I have this weird fucking relationship with the computer. It's not healthy. That's all it is. It's a website. There's no heartbeat to it until one of you guys takes time out of your day to express the impact. Then it completes the 360 and gives value to it all. That's how it keeps going. And I say the testimonials, yeah, I lost 100 pounds. Got a cover, won a contest, sponsored athlete, cool. I like the ones that also say I went back to school and got my degree. The ones that said, hey, I went to my enemies and said I was sorry. Made amends, Started paying child support. Man, motherfucker, I quit heroin. Started living my life. That just re-inspires me, man. You have no idea that you guys, what you do for me, I could never repay you for. Could never repay you. Now, I had to work my ass off. And before that site started, I was at the bottom of the barrel, man. And I was in the mud of life, man, the sewers of life. But I was okay with that because I kept moving. And I think you have to walk through the mud in life for the higher ground. There's no street or pathway to easy street that doesn't go through the sewage, you know? So I was in the sewage. Not who I was, just like the accomplishments, not who I am, you know? What can I learn from it? I learned a lot from it. It's a perspective on how you see it. Are you tunnel vision, or do you keep your peripheral open? And if you keep your peripheral open, when I was in the military, they said, you know, leadership is something you learn from others. And you have good leaders and bad leaders. You have good friends and bad friends. You learn from both of them. With a good leader, you learn exactly how to be a leader. You try to employ those tactics. A bad leader, you learn what not to do. That's valuable too. You have to have the ability to distinguish them. You can't have them drain you at your assets either, your time. You only have so much time in the given day. And you got to take care of yourself first. That's got to be the number one priority. You have your mission where you're going. If they're not getting you there, get the fuck out of your way. It's got to be that way. Because the thing is, if you get going where you're going, you know, you're going to find friends that associate with the same kind of excellence you believe in. You know, there's history with people. I have so many friends that I was in the military with that I was so tight with. As you grow older, times change. You know, you don't have so much in common anymore. You know, I'm single right now. Well, not single. Not married, okay? A lot of my friends are married, kids and everything else. You grow kind of differently a little bit, different priorities and stuff. Doesn't mean you don't respect them or anything else, or you have history with them and admiration, but you move on without them. Does that make sense? You're not doing a disservice, but don't allow these toxic friends right now to take up so much of your time that shortcuts your mission of where you're going. Because where you're going isn't just going to fulfill you and your dreams. You're going to be surrounded by people that are doing the same thing, and they're going to be better friends for you in the moment of where you're going. So, you know, baggage is a bad thing. It robs you of where you can be and how fast you can be there. There is nothing wrong by saying, bro, I can't be a friend with you right now. I'm on a mission right now. I'll get back to you when I can. You know, when I left West Point and went out to L.A., for the military, for modeling stuff, everyone's like, you're crazy, man, you know? And that's what people say. Everyone says, that's crazy what you're about to do. I've heard that so many times, that's crazy. It's not until, fuck you. I do it then, right? And then I succeed in it, and it's so funny, those same people say, that's so smart. They don't see it. They don't have the vision, or they don't have the work ethic for it. You cannot be driven by a litmus test, a heartbeat of someone else's agendas. Humans are flawed. They would try to manipulate you, not for you, for them. When you succeed, they hate you. Why? Because you're making them feel inadequate with who they are in their own skin because they didn't succeed. They gave up on something and you achieved it, so it reminds them of their missed opportunities. They don't like you for that. They should thank you for it. They should ask you if they're really true. They're like, hey, man, can you help me get up too? You know, but they won't do that because there's an ego there. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've done something. People are like, that's stupid. You know? And then like a year later, they go, hey, man, can you hire me to do that with you? Fuck off. No, you get one chance to impress me and you lost it. No, you know what I mean? So be careful, man. Be careful be careful of everything you associate yourself with. And by the way, the more and more success you have, the harder and harder it is to distinguish it. Because these people get clever, you know, and they come at you because you can provide something for them. And they'll come up there and they'll act out this beautiful front, you know, and they'll try to manipulate you to, but the whole thing is a hidden agenda to suck something from you. They're not looking to provide anything. You know, it's not universal. It's not eternal kind of love, respect. It's one-sided. So yeah, you're doing great, man. I keep doing exactly what you're doing. You know, the fact that I don't know what you meant by that your uncle raised you, and then he became an alcoholic. Were you that bad of a kid to raise? That much trouble?
Oh no.
Because I can relate, I guess, to that. But what's that?
My granddad passed away unfortunately due to alcohol.
Yeah.
Why I guess it kind of correlated between psychology and
Yeah.
strength because that's how he dealt with his problems.
There you go, man. It's the same release, guys. You know, it's your serotonin levels, it's your hormones, it's the release. That release comes chemically. You know, I said before, some snort it, some shoot it, some sweat for it. It's the same high. Just one high builds on itself. The other one just destroys you. Same with the steroids, guys. You guys that are doing steroids, and don't tell me you're not. I see it. I have been in this industry too long to know if I see it or not. Watch out for that. Watch the fuck out for that. I don't care about the health risks. I'm not even worried about that. What I care about is that what you're basically admitting to yourself is that who you are isn't good enough. You need to take something else to be all that. That's scary. Because there's no pill you can take in life. You know, when you're married, 3 kids, and you're hitting financial problems, man. You know, boss on your ass, or you lost your job, bills coming in, it's a lot. There's no pill you can take then to rectify that situation. But right now, in a young age, where nothing's really on the line, what's really on the line? Your ego, you know, popularity or something like that. That's what's on the line. And it values you so much that you cut the corner. And when you cut the corner, yeah, you get the body, but you don't get the mindset. The mindset's going to the corner and then back to the other side, not cutting it. When you cut the corner, you don't learn those valuable lessons. Everything I'm talking to you guys about said, yeah, if you watch my site and do the workouts, yeah, you're transforming your body. And you look in the mirror, you're like, damn, that looks awesome. But you just transformed your mindset. And that mindset can take that same work ethic and transform every other theater of your life. But if you cut the corner in the gym and start taking illegal shit, one, it's going to catch up to you because you got to keep taking it, and your body becomes immune to it. And you got to up the doses and up the doses. And then when the big cover's coming up, you put more and more and more in your body. A buddy of mine had cancer in remission. He was on a couple covers. He thought he was out, started training, get in shape, wanted to get a cover. He started juicing it back up. The whole story is Maximum Fitness. It was a big publication back then. The whole story was about how he was in remission. He beat cancer. So much so, look at him, he's on the cover all ripped up. He died a week before that cover came out. Was it worth it? I don't know. You do things for different reasons. He was doing it because who he was in the mirror wasn't enough. And the external factors are starting to weigh on him. And he was trying to achieve all their successes and, you know, get their agreeability. You know, there's 31 flavors at Baskin-Robbins, man. Because not everybody likes mint chocolate chip. You know what I mean? Know what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But if you're doing steroids and stuff, guys, let me tell you something. You're cashing checks your body can't cash later. You're getting a quick fix, the quick return. And there is no quick fix for a long-term situation. You're getting the benefit now that your body's going to pay for later. But later, guess who's paying for it also? Your family and everything else, because your name's going to be on the line. The reputation's on the line. Your family's on the line, right? And what you did back then, what you got rewarded for, was cutting the corner in life, and you got success. So you learned that lesson. So you do it again in business. And when you do it in business, you go to jail. A lot more on the line than you. You're supposed to learn these lessons at a young age. You're supposed to fail at a young age. Because what do you really lose? Nothing. My man here asked me what I lost as growing up. I fucked up all the time growing up, man. My dad beat my ass a few times. But if I didn't learn the lesson then, later in life, if I played those same games right now, I just wouldn't be here. I'll put that much. That much. I would not be here. So, whatever you step forward to, it better be because that's where you want to be. It better not because somebody else. And when you get there, man, you can really help them out later. You know? Remember I said that girl Sally, you go and hit the leg day, she's there and everything else. Oh, now it's chest day, whatever else. Man, if you just believe in yourself, there's nothing sexier than confidence. You know, I look at girls and stuff. Remember that one girl was doing the bungee jump? I was like, maybe Mrs. Plitt, and she's like, oh, I can't do this. I'm like, ugly, you know? There's nothing hotter for me in a girl than confidence. You know, someone that believes in what they do and kind of like dismisses the crowd's jury or society status quo. And I mean, if you look at history, if the status quo was never challenged, we wouldn't live in a, the Industrial Revolution never would have happened. The world still be flat. We have to challenge the status quo, and especially if we don't believe it, we've got to go our own way. That one person with belief can override thousands with just intent. Don't get sucked into that, And I know you're not already. You're just feeling sad for them because you're already passing them. And you're like, I kind of feel bad. Maybe I should throw them a bone or something. Fuck them. They don't deserve that bone. Save that bone for the person upstairs where you're going to see him soon enough. Not the Lord, but the person in your higher journey as you're climbing that ladder of becoming the person you want to be. All right, let's get another question.
Hi, Greg. My name is Ahmed. How you going?
Good. How are you?
My question is just regarding nutrition. More specifically, it's regarding one of your videos on your website that you did. Before I saw your video, I heard about the sort of topic, and I was a bit confused about it. But your video was very informative, and it kind of resonated with me. So I tried it myself. It's actually regarding intermittent fasting. In your video, you talked about the benefits of it. You did research yourself. I did myself as well after I saw your video, and I did for a year. And I think, admittedly, it wasn't like to the best that I can do it, but I did it. Just regarding the time frames and things like that. And I did find benefits in it.
Why don't you explain to everybody what it is and what you did, just so everyone's caught up to speed.
Okay. Well, intermittent fasting, what generally tends to do is like you don't eat between certain periods, and this period varies between different people and things like that. But for me, it was between 8 p.m. one night to about 12 p.m. the next day. So in that time, I just drank water. But between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m., I just had all my sort of meals, all my sort of kilojoules or calories. Generally tends to, I think it's designed really, not to want to go into scientific sort of things, but it's designed to sort of, forgetting right now.
You don't get mad. Yeah. Everybody understand what it is? Intermittent fasting?
I'm sure a lot of other people.
There's different time periods you can do it for, but it's not your 5-6 meals a day kind of shit.
Yeah. It's generally like, I know you eat only 1 or 2 meals a day, but anyway, but it kind of goes with your.
How many meals have I had today? How many meals have I had since I've been in Australia? 1. Yeah. I've been here for 40 hours or so.
Yeah. Okay. Getting to my question here. The reason why I'm asking this, I actually had this question in my head for over a year now, but.
Well, how many Red Bulls have I had, though? That's the other question.
3.
Everyone's like, yeah, I know what. Drinking that liquid crack, you don't need any food.
But yeah, generally when you don't you miss your breakfast, but then I think it really increases your insulin level or something like that, which helps with the fat loss, and also you have a lot more energy, which is what I found. But anyway, Greg, sorry. In the interview video, you said that you're going to try it for 1 month, and then you're going to do another blog on it, or a video blog on it to see, the results of it, how you found it. But I don't know if I missed it or not, but I didn't see a video on it.
No, I never did the video blog.
Yeah, follow-up video. So I was wondering, but then in another video, you I think someone asked you the same question as I just did, and you said you didn't do intermittent fasting. So I just want to know, so what was your what did you find out of it? Did you go through with it, or did you?
Well, there's intermittent fasting, and there's also fasting. Yeah. They're two totally different things. But good question.
Yeah,
Let's go into. We'll break this down real fast. Fasting is this. Fasting is actually when you kind of stop eating food altogether. It's all a liquid kind of diet. There's different types of liquids you can do. There's a master cleanse you guys might have heard of. It's like water, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, stuff like that, and you're drinking that. There's one that's more juices. You can do some with proteins, but it's kind of all liquid. You're not eating. And it's very a couple glasses a day is it, It's so you're going from extreme amount of calories into very little bit of calories, right? How do you survive? You must whittle away, right? Well, your body is very smart. Your body will always survive. That's its nature. When you guys are sitting there doing a bicep curl, right? And you're throwing your back into it, because your body's built that way. Your body's like, dude, why are you making this one bicep do all this lifting when I have this back and legs? We can lift it a lot easier. Your body's about efficiency. It's not about being 5% body fat. It looks at that as oh, we're dangerous, man. We're in the red. This is not good, even though the crowd says, oh, man, look, that guy's really in shape. Look how cut up he is. That's a sign of success. 400 years ago, when Michelangelo was painting these fat-ass women The sign of success was a beastie woman because that was a sign of wealth. Society's going to keep changing back and forth, back and forth. The body doesn't change. The body's about survival. So when you stop bringing in the calories, right, what happens is the body starts to eat itself for energy. But what does it eat first? It eats all the crap. It starts with your blood, and it detoxifies the body, the blood. It pulls all the elements out, all the toxins out of the blood. And how does it get rid of them? It burns them for energy. That's how the body expels it. So it brings them all out of the blood, and then it lights a fire to it, basically. And that's your energy for the day. That's a really bad fuel. It's all toxins. So when you go into a fast, the first 3 days are the hardest part. You have migraines and headaches and stuff, much like when you go drinking too much one night. You're burning off bad fuel. That's why you get the headaches and stuff. That lasts for 3 days, but you're detoxifying the blood after the 3 days, and you go into like a 7-day period. You can do this, people do this forever. I mean, like 120 days, even longer. I don't think you have to do it any more than 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the max. But then you go into a deeper level where it starts to pulling out all these things in your organs, all these toxins there. It goes even deeper after that. It goes into the bone marrow of your body. It starts pulling out things that have been there since you were a kid. All those joints and aches and pains and stuff are all toxins left over that haven't been pulled out. Why is it not pulled out? Because the body doesn't need to pull them out. It's not forced to because you keep on shoving down 5-6 meals a day. So it gets all its energy for that. There's never time for it to go and rectify itself. That's what fasting is. We're really not doing anything else. Intermittent fasting is something totally different, where you do eat and everything else, but not 5-6 meals a day. I eat once a day, 1 meal a day. Why I started that was basically the principle that I was too damn busy. I didn't have time to go cook and clean and shop. I just didn't have time for that. So when I was in the military, it was on the go. I always call it the my lawnmower diet. You know, basically I get up, I go cut my lawn, I grab the lawnmower out of the shed and just start cutting the lawn. You know, eventually I run out of gas, and then I go to the shed, get some gas for it, and then keep on cutting the lawn. That was my day. I get up and I go. Get up and go. And then halfway through the day, usually around between 2 and 6 o'clock, my body goes, dude, I need some fucking food, dude. So I just go get some food, fill it back up, and then keep on cutting the lawn. That's how my day was. I didn't have time to sit down and, you know, hey, honey, how you doing? Cheers. Hey, dessert time. Fuck, I don't know, 3-4 meals a day. You want an appetizer? I ain't time for no appetizers. Give me something and let me eat on the run. You know, I wasn't trying to satisfy an appetite. I was trying to fuel the body, and I had things to go. I needed the energy, but I had to get there, man. I didn't have time for all this eating and shit. And I see all these people walking around with Tupperwares and everything else, and you know, I just don't get it, man. I really don't. Like we're going into like some famine soon. You know, we're gonna be short on food, or these guys that go to the gym with like literally like it's like a 20-pound water weight. It's like it's gallons of water. Like, ugh. And I'm like, is there a shortage somewhere? You know, what are we doing here? You know, oh, I know what we're doing here. That's the cool way, huh? That's the big bodybuilder. That's what it's supposed to be. You're more serious now because you've got a fucking 4-day supply of water next to you, and I have to drink out of the fucking public fountain, huh? Oh, let me bow down to you, bullshitter. That's what they're doing, man. So once a day, what is that all about? If you're eating 5-6 meals a day, guys, your body's energy, your natural energy, about 80% of it is spent digesting food all day long. That's what's happening. Only leaving about 20% remaining balance of energy for the most vital assets of survival, which is detoxifying the body of impurities, building the immune system, and repairing any healthy micro-tearing in the body, or rebuilding any kind of bruises or tears. If you look at the animal planet or any kind of nature, you know, and let's say this tiger runs out in the prairie and just mauls over this gazelle. Doesn't kill the gazelle gets away, but almost fatally wounded. You think the gazelle's gonna sit down with Mrs. Gazelle and have a dinner? You know, sit there and light a candle? No, it doesn't eat anything. All of its energy is there to rebuild itself and try to survive. 100% of its energy. It doesn't go eat anything. What do we do in the gym? When we're ripping our muscles up, right? That's a healthy micro-tear. When we make a muscle, what happens is there's protein filaments in the muscle. The smallest part of the muscle is a sarcomere. And what there is 3 protein filaments. There are actin and 2 myosin filaments. And there's 2 on this side. Can you see this sign language thing I'm doing? So these 3 filaments, right, are attached by 2 myosin. There's little cross bridges. When you contract a muscle, you're bringing the actin over the myosin filament inside the sarcomere, shortening the muscle belly, gives the flex. When you lift more weight than it can handle, it rips. It rips. That pump you get is blood. It's filling up. It's blood. You just cause damage to it. And by the way, in the gym, we don't grow in the gym. We grow outside the gym with rest and nutrition because we created a demand for our body to grow from because it just ripped. And if we give it the right nutrition and rest, what it'll do, it will elongate back to the point of origin, hence a longer muscle belly than when we first started. That's the whole philosophy. But in the gym, that pump we all love and everything else is blood. It's bleeding. It's the gazelle that just got fucked up on the prairie. But no, let's eat. Let's make sure we eat 5-6 meals a day so that all the energy in our body is not going to repair the healthy microtear to grow the muscle. It's going to spend all this energy to create energy that we're not even using. It's ass the fuck backwards. In the gym, your muscle's a sponge. And when you go to the gym and you start working out, that sponge is moist. You know, happy muscle, nice moist sponge, you know. You go to the gym, you start to wring it out, you start to lift and everything else. At the end of a hard workout, that sponge is bone dry. All the muscle glycogen's worn off, all the energy's worn off. You know, your tank's down to 0, you got nothing really left. That's that sponge at the end. That's the best case scenario after a hard workout, that you've depleted yourself of everything. But what you just created is demand. That sponge now is ready to absorb anything. That's why there's a timing. Right after the gym, a 45-minute window, you want to pour on that sponge, your muscle, all your nutrition. And whatever that is for different people. You know, it's about 0.25 grams of protein per pound you weigh, about 0.4 grams of carbs, simple sugars for every pound you weigh. You want some glutamine, some BCAAs, some HMB maybe. All this, you pour it on there and it absorbs it. Saturates it. Doesn't oversaturate. The oversaturation is spillage, which your body will grab and store for fat because it's all about survival. It doesn't give a shit if you get laid. It's about survival, making sure we have enough fat around our organs for survival, right? That's the process. And you repeat it and you get bigger and bigger and bigger, but you eat around your activities. And how do you eat around your activities in the gym? If that 45-minute window is so crucial, it's not that you put it in your mouth and you chew it and swallow it in 45 minutes. Does your muscle get it? And if you're taking chicken down, it's got to go down to your stomach and then be broken down. I can't grab a steak and fucking get in there. It doesn't work that way. It's got to be broken down. That takes time. But if we can switch that time, less digestion, make it all liquid, body absorbs it right away. It's not what you eat, it's what your body absorbs. The gym creates a demand for your body to absorb that. You put on what it needs around your activities, eating around your bookends of your activities, you win the nutritional war. But that goes fine, right? Some days I do 2 a days for a cover shoot or something. Some days I'm doing 1. Some days I'm watching the game, drinking a bunch of beer with my buddies. I don't know. Depending what I'm doing is what I'm eating. So if I'm sitting on the couch all day, which doesn't happen, really, but if I am, I don't need to eat shit, really. My eyeballs don't burn that many calories, and pushing the remote doesn't burn that many calories. Really just don't need that much, right? If I'm doing 2 a days, I need more. So you're smart. You become a student of the game. You're not Helen Keller in the gym hoping to fucking find a lift. You know, you've done your back research, so you know why you're doing what you're doing. There's a reason for your actions. When there's a reason for your actions produce results. It's so fucking simple, guys. If you're dating a girl and you buy her a rose, that might improve the situation. Right? That's being a student of the game. You wouldn't go up to the girl and slap her in the face and expect to get laid. But so many people do that, meaning they go to the gym and they'll watch the idiot with the fucking town supply of water next to him fucking do something, and they're thinking, oh, and I'm going to go do that too. I've gone to the gym, man, and like people like try to copy my shit, and you can't copy me. I'm already me. Be better than me. Be the best of you. That's what the world needs. Don't copy me. That's boring. But I'll go there, and they'll watch me do something. I'll make up some fucking Ringling Brothers goddamn exercise. You know, I'll get upside down and, you know, and do a push-up and stuff. It does nothing but just look idiot, you know? Sure enough, I'll come back the next day, 3 of them. It's so sad. But also it's so fucking great, because that's your competition. That's how stupid they are. I don't mean to call it out, but it is. If you're going to be successful, be the student of the game. Understand the body, the biochemistry, how it works. You create something here, a demand, right? You back it up with supply. It's basic economics, business 101. Demand versus supply. Don't follow the trends, guys. Set them. Understand how the body works. And by the way, once you understand how the body works, the body was going to understand how it works too. So then you got to change it up again. Muscle confusion. Always shocking the system. That's what makes it fun. You do the same thing over and over again. That gets boring. No one watches the same movie over and over again, reads the same book over and over again. You know? So, back to your question. So you eat around your activities, right? But then around 2 to 6 in that day, I'll take a meal down. And that meal can be whatever I want it to be. It really can. I don't want to confuse you guys. But it can be McDonald's, it can be pizza, it can be chicken, it can be whatever the hell I want it to be. Because my body's at a low, it's in the red, it's at low body fat percentage. That's scary. So my body burns it all up, it uses anything. You know, that sponge that comes out, I can put a Twinkie, I can piss on that fucking sponge. Your body will, you know, absorb it up and say, thank you, we needed something. You know? But if I'm a fat ass, that sponge never really gets desaturated. So when you pour something on it, it never, imagine this. Imagine like, when I came out of Ranger School, 70 days, I lost, I went in like best shape of my life, like 220, it came out like 160. There was at one point I was like, there was green liquid coming off my arm, like my body was breaking down muscle, and that's what the sweat was. It's fucking nasty, man. I looked like I came out of a concentration camp. At that state, if you gave me a steak, the steak's leaving the earth, disappearing. The bone too, everything's gonna be taken down. Now you take somebody that works on Wall Street, you know, in his suit and his gut and everything else, and pencil pusher and stuff. You give him a steak. You know, he'll cut the griddle out, you know, he'll eat a little bit here, eat a little bit there. He'll get full pretty fast. You know, that right there is the same philosophy on metabolism. Everyone's like, well, the 5-6 meals a day increases your metabolism. And no shit, dumbass. It's like, the more I drive my car, the more gas I need to put in. That makes sense, yeah. So the more you eat, the more your body's working to break it down, yeah. But the breakdown is energy. And are you using that energy? Because if you don't, your body knows to store it. It needs it. How does it store it? Slow producing energy. That's called fat. You know? So use it or lose it. And if you're not using it, don't create it. So I'll eat this one meal between 2 and 6, right? And that's it, man. I live a very low-no carbohydrate diet, high protein, low carbs. When I say low-no, that's the residual effect. At the end of the day, I want to go to sleep with close to 0 or 0 carbs in my body. So therefore, my body's burning fat throughout the night, not carbohydrates. Your body's efficient. It's smart. It'll burn whatever's the easiest thing to burn is. Carbohydrates are easier to burn than fat. If you put them in your body at nighttime, it will burn them. If you don't put it in there, your body will burn fat. By the way, when you drink alcohol, your body stops burning fat. You don't get a beer gut from drinking beer. You get a beer gut because as soon as you drink beer, the beer goes to your liver, it produces a byproduct called acetate. Acetate's a real piece of shit energy source. It's very easy to burn. Has a very bad, you know, some things you burn is a clean smoke. This thing, you burn it, you start coughing, it's so thick. That's why you wake up with that muscle cramp. It's like burning, when you go on your fast, you pull that shit out of the blood and you burn it off. It's a bad energy. Well, as soon as acetate's in the body, I mean, as soon as you start drinking, your body's going to break down that for energy, not body fat. So anytime you drink, you stop burning fat. That's why you get the beer gut, because it stores it. All that food you ate just gets stored for fat, Oh, we'll burn the acetate. And you wake up feeling like shit. You're like, ugh, what happened? Where'd this come from? Not being a student of the game is where it came from. So you go to sleep on a low, no-carb diet. So I say it's residual. Does that mean you have carbs throughout the day? Hell yeah, you do. Before you go to the gym, you book in your workout with nutrition. So I need my energy to maximize my workout. I don't need all this shit. I just need enough so all 5 pistons are firing so I can hit my max potential. The real meal is right after that. That's what I really need to focus on, the right nutrition, the right macros, and how much to take. And you adjust it as you go. There's no universal path to individual success. You have to trial and error it. I can give you a general north azimuth, but your true north is when you go in there and you start to absorb book smarts to street smarts. Both aren't it yet. It's when a book smarts combines with street smarts. When they combine, you find your true north of what works for you. So, I mean, things that work for me might or might not. You gotta try them. And even try the fucking town waterman. See what he's got going on, So fasting is when you really don't eat at all for a period of time. Intermittent fasting is like, for me, it's only 1 meal a day. So if you guys are eating 5-6 meals a day and you guys want to try this, and by the way, question everything I say. Now really do your due diligence and question. Don't just pass it off as truth. Because then you're the idiot, that you're not becoming a student of the game. The game's going to keep changing. You got to keep changing with it. So I do 1 meal a day. But when you first started out, you're doing 5, 6, bring it down to 3. You don't have to do it all in one day. I guarantee you, if you get more on a liquid diet, and all that nutrition I have before and after my workouts is all liquid. The only solid meal I have is around that 2 to 6 o'clock hour when my gas and my lawnmower runs out. I got to refill it. The rest is all liquid. Why? Because it's easily absorbed. Eating to fuel the body, not to satisfy an appetite. That gives me the greatest form of success. So therefore, my down payment of an hour in the gym, I get 150% return of investment. That's success. That hour in the gym, if I don't take the nutrition in a liquid form, I stick it through chicken breast, I might only get $1.10. Still better than nothing else. But if I can get more, that's no good. So I always say, people say, it's good enough, man. It's not good enough, man, because you don't know what enough is until the nth hour when everything's on the line, if it's enough. The people that say, good enough, they never say good enough today. Tomorrow they always have enough kind of thing. So even though the eating thing, the meal might reproduce like 110%, I want 150. That's possible. Let's go liquid. Now here's somebody who goes to the gym for an hour, and then right after the gym of lifting, then they get on the treadmill and run for an hour. Well, they just fucked themselves because their body's in demand. That muscle's crying out, crying out, crying out. And what do you say? You say, we got to do more. So that muscle gets neglected. And you start firing other cylinders. Again, we don't grow in the gym. We just create the demand for our body to grow. We need the supply of rest and nutrition to grow from. But we change up the priority. We start doing cardio. Then we eat 2 hours later. All right, we got 25% return of investment for our hour there. No good. And you work twice as hard. Isn't that stupid? Twice as hard for shit results. You keep doing that, yeah, you will burn out mentally. Because hard work isn't paying off. Because you're a fucking idiot. You're not becoming a student of the game. You're working stupidly, not smartly. You've got to become a student of the game, guys.